Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Dr. T, PhD, the prodigy of sports psychology. Here on today's show, about to welcome back another wonderful guest. She is the Commissioner of Newton County out in Covington, Alana Sanders of Get Pulse. Now before Commissioner Sanders returns on here today's show, I'd like to ask everyone out there if you please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Now I'll have the chance today to reconnect with Commissioner Sanders and just see how everything's going in her world, both professionally and personally, and maybe even politically too, and all of the wonderful things that she's got going on out there in Newton County. And so it's going to be wonderful to reconnect with a great friend, with a wonderful lady. She's incredible, all the amazing work she does. She is the hardest working woman, in fact, that I know of on this planet, and she's going to tell us how everything's going out in her world. So I can't wait to catch up with her and see how Commissioner Sanders is doing here on GoTarryn TV. And remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, and as I promised, side by side, we once again have Commissioner Alana Sanders with us today. Commissioner Sanders, how are you doing out there today?
I am doing great. How about yourself?
Very good, thank you, and it's so wonderful to have you back on. And when you and I last were chatting, we were kind of getting out of the pandemic and getting back to normal. So has your new normal been normal, or how's your life been since we last spoke last month?
It's kind of half and half. Everybody's trying to get back into the normal way, but we still have that old way of trying to keep everybody safe, trying to make sure everybody's vaccinated, those who choose to get vaccinated, so we can go back to that old normal, not the new normal way.
Yeah.
So we're now back in session where we are hosting a lot of things in person now, so we're getting back there. I am a little bit afraid, though, because I think we're moving a little bit too fast, as I'm hearing new strands and stuff that are coming out.
Uh-huh.
I just have a feeling that we're going to be right back where we were last March.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my whole issue with that. I think we need to watch some of these things that we're doing.
Yeah, that's interesting you said that, because what I've noticed, is that in some of the parts of the world, you're seeing that, for example, one of my clients has a lot of family in Israel. They're almost 100% fully vaccinated, and yet now they're closing down again in some parts because of upticks of this, like you just mentioned, the different strain. I'm really hoping we don't have that happen here in this country or Atlanta, to where we're going to have to shut down, go back to masks, and that could happen. But what are you hearing as far as locally here, both in Atlanta and in state of Georgia and such?
Well, of course, Georgia has always been open. We've done it differently than anybody else, so that's one of the issues.
That's true.
But,
that's true.
A lot of the companies, I do appreciate that some of the companies are still sticking to their guns.
Right.
It seems like you still have to mask up to even come in our building.
Uh-huh.
Some are following the CDC guidelines saying if you are vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. But how do you know if somebody's vaccinated unless they show you a card?
That's true. Yeah.
You don't know that unless you ask to see their card that they actually got the shot. But so I'm just a little bit concerned because our kids are going back to school now. There's no, I guess, any category of where they can go virtual. They just make it all in person. So I'm just a little, I wouldn't say afraid, just a little bit concerned that we're moving a little bit too fast. And we don't have, I think Georgia's probably like at 30% vaccination. I know in my county it's 20%.
Wow.
Vaccination. So there's a lot of people who are not getting the vaccine. Some of them, for ever which reason, are not believing in the vaccine. Some just feel that they don't have it. Some said they had COVID before and feel they already have the antibodies in their system. They don't need the vaccine, which can be a true factor of that. But we don't know. We have no idea. And then finding out also that this vaccine, you have to go get a booster later on, which a lot of people didn't know that. So who's really going to go back and get the booster? That's going to be the question.
It's a mess. Yeah, you're right. It really is. And you brought up a good point. Like, wherever you go, how do you know who is vaccinated, who's not? Yeah. And really, everything all the information we're getting, that is such a low percentage. I didn't realize how again, few people are getting it. And I have heard different things, too. I've heard, like you said, just who knows what the real information or the truth is supposed to be. But That shouldn't stop our workouts. What are you finding with working out, exercising? Are you happy with, and satisfied that the gyms are back up and running and such? Are you finding that, or do you still find it kind of challenging?
Yeah, I'm happy that the gyms are back up and running, but I think we're seeing lax to where when they were fighting to get their members back, they were all cleaning. They had their staff in there doing various things. Now that they're getting more people coming back, they've gotten really lax to where they're not cleaning as much. Now it's really up to the person who's coming there, the member, to make sure they clean behind themselves before they touch things. I'm noticing that there's a lax in that. I asked one of the major gyms here, I went to management and said, hey, I think y'all don't need to be lax on this. We don't know. I mean, are people sweating? Their DNA's on everything. We're touching stuff. And just that one moment you forget to wipe something off. Because sometimes when we're in the midst of our workout, we forget, like, we touch something like, oh, my God, I didn't wipe that off. Right there could have been a contagious moment. We never know.
Yeah.
So what I did here in my county, I hosted a summer workout series outside.
Oh, nice.
So I have it until August, to where I had some of our fitness instructor friends who are offering these classes for free, from cycling to jump fitness, where they could the trampoline jump, from Zumba. I taught the cardio kickboxing, and I'm offering that for free to the neighbors, my constituents here in the county.
Nice.
So where they have a workout experience was a little bit safer because we're outside.
Yeah.
And actually, distance or whatever. So that's the safeness part of it versus being inside. So I've been offering that. I'm offering that all the way to August 28th. So that's one of the things I've been doing with the fitness portion, is to get everybody back working out and to get them more acclimated into the health and wellness portion.
Good for you, Alana. And, we've had such really good weather for that too, haven't we? I mean, it's been pretty summer for the most part. Little rain, but other than that. And, like you mentioned about how, sometimes we do move a little fast, you're right, as far as patience goes. I think our country here typically does kind of tend to be impatient. And I'll give you a really good example. I was talking to a client about this before. You're not going to believe what I saw in the aisles just this past week. Can you guess what I saw, what they were selling already?
What was it?
Halloween masks and Halloween costumes.
Already?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I was just looking at that, and I was like, that just kind of is almost sick when I just looked at that. I was like, this is ridiculous. But
I guess it also tells about the market. A lot of people have lost sales during this time.
Yeah.
So where now you have employers, who are searching for employees.
Yes, I keep hearing that too. Yeah.
They are searching for employees. They're begging for help. Restaurants are understaffed.
Yep.
So
Everywhere. And
like I told some of my colleagues, I said, well, it's not that people don't want to go back to work. People realizing that they probably were underpaid when they've actually had time to sit back and think and outline their lives. Like, maybe I need to move in this direction this time to make more money for my family. And I'm hearing people saying, well, they're lazy. They not want to go back. Everybody's hiring. But think about it. If you have a family with kids, would you just go take a job at McDonald's or somewhere making $9 or $10 an hour, and you have to find daycare? Your entire check is going to daycare.
Exactly.
So you have to strategically think about what moves I'm going to make. And they had that time when we were quarantined to think about, okay, I need to make different moves. Or some people may not be going back because they may have started an online business. They may have become entrepreneurs. They may have done things, and they had time to think and sit back, versus before the pandemic. We're moving, and so the creative juices were not flowing. So now they were able to sit still and think, like, I can sell this, I can do this, I can create a business. So a lot of people are not going back to work. This is probably the most time where we produce more entrepreneurs than ever.
Yeah, and you're right. That's what you're all about, Alana. I remember, coming to guest speak for classes. You always mention about knowing your worth, knowing your value, don't sell yourself too cheap. And that's exactly what we saw. And that's a really good point. Like, the more people that are having more time to think about what they want to do for a business, in that respect, it has been kind of a silver lining, I guess, for a lot of people. So I think you're right that some of these companies just have to grin and bear and just realize, okay, if we need to find people, we probably better offer a little bit, whether it's more money, I don't know, maybe they could do profit sharing or some other kind of, maybe more vacations. Okay, come back and we'll give you double the amount of time off or something. They need to give something, I think, for that to work. So You're right, because we keep seeing it everywhere, and for sure that's been a problem. In personal training, in my world, I've seen an uptick since COVID. I mean, the good thing is that my business hasn't stopped. In fact, it just kept going up and up and up. And I think more people who are kind of just taking time off probably want to invest more time in their own health too.
Yes, people want to invest more time in them. They're realizing that they spent so much time with the hustle and bustle.
Exactly.
That they're now thinking about family is more important because they had no idea how this COVID situation was going to pan out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to survive the next day, am I going to catch it? I mean, all those things were going through people's heads. People really, literally were scared.
Yeah.
So family became more important. How they were going to make moves all became more important. So they thought about self. So it kind of changed. Their mindset changed from when they were before that March 2020.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit, it's a different person you're getting now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And, again, using myself as an example, you mentioned just a few minutes ago, Georgia State had let me go about, I guess it was a year ago when this whole thing, with COVID was really rampant. And they let all the part-time instructors go. And since then, I've had no desire to return, mostly, not because of money in my case, mostly just because of the traffic, just because logistically. To me, it's not worth it to go back downtown and drive in that traffic again. I wouldn't mind doing online classes, but I could tell you right now, if they were to ask me to come back and say, okay, come on back, Taryn, I'd have to really think about that. And most likely, I'd probably lean against coming back. It's just, the traffic's just getting worse.
And I'm the same way, Taryn. When somebody asks me to go somewhere, and I'm like, "Where?" First thing I ask, "Well, how far is it?"
Right, exactly.
You really have been able to appreciate your home.
Yep.
And some people have decorated, and now they love their home. They've rearranged certain things, and was able to do those small things around the house they never were able to do, gardening or whatever, and they found new passions and love. So it's just it was a blessing in disguise.
It really was, yeah. What are some of the things personally that you found, Alana? Were there things that stuck out that you kind of self-reflect on and look back in the last year or 2 years and just think, hey, this is really cool, I have a new appreciation for, or is there anything like that you could think of?
I can definitely say that my daughter and I have built a different relationship, and I came to realization that she's a senior in high school and she's going to be...
Wow, that's right. I remember you told me that. I was really shocked.
That really hit me to where I'm about to become an empty nester, to where and I know she probably thinks it's so weird that I just want to spend time with her. She's a teenager. She's like, Mom, like, really? Like, why? I'll go in her room and lay in her bed with her. She's like, what is going on?
That is amazing. Wow. Yeah.
In a year or so, I'm going to be an empty nester, so that it made me want to spend more time with her. And I know she's like, it's weird. And I get it, because when I was a teenager, I probably thought it was weird too. Those are the things that I appreciate. Even my friends, spending time with friends and calling them up. Because I just found out today, one of my students that I taught years ago that I used to, on and off, had to have a conversation with. A lot of our professors that we worked at this university found out today she passed away in January.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh.
So that's the other thing, that we are just moving so fast that we forget about people because we have so much going on that we are now just finding out in July that somebody passed in January.
Wow.
And all of us were like, we talk off and on, and we're comfortable with that off and on, and not thinking we should check on someone. You never know. There's people that I'm finding out, even some that I don't have a personal relationship, but I had association with.
Sure.
Hey, I'm doing this COVID situation, or something happened, and because we did not, I guess, value people. That I wouldn't say more so value people. If they weren't in our small inner circle, we didn't think about it.
Wow.
So now it's that time, like, wow, maybe I need to pick up the phone more, versus we always texting. We're doing things on social media, which is great. But the old way, where we actually picked up the phone and called somebody and say, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm doing a wellness check. I'm checking on you to see if everything's okay. So that's one of the things I think that changed for me, because we saw so much death recently in our eyes, and people that might have been close to us that passed away due to COVID and various things. And a lot of, every day we're seeing somebody pass away. So it's really a concern that we now need to value people more.
Oh yeah, yeah, and not only that, but just with everything going on in the world, recently the whole Miami, the Surfside horrible incident, and all the rioting going on in, I guess, Cuba, South Africa. I mean, there just seems like there's so much volatility right now, and anger, and fighting, and hatred, and I don't know. Hopefully, we come out of this, and we just want peace, and I don't know. It's just kind of a crazy time. I keep hearing here, even locally, that there's more aggressive drivers, and road rage has picked up, and I just don't get it. I don't know if it maybe being cooped up. Some people just have these vented anger feelings or whatever, but yeah, I just don't understand that.
Yeah, and that could be it as well. Mm-hmm. And so, and that's why I said life is valuable. So the choices that we make right now have to be very strategic of what we really want to do and how we're going to do it. Because I've even turned down some jobs that were paying, and I was like, do I really want to do that? and before COVID, I'm like, oh, let's make this money.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do I really want to do that? So it's just now valuing your time.
Yeah, good for you. You've always been big about that, and that's a good problem to have, to be able to be in that position, to pick and choose and have options. And what else are you determined to doing with your time now, Alana? Going forward, what other goals, both professionally, and you talked a little bit personally with your daughter, obviously. What else is going on for the rest of the year for you and your ambitions?
My goal as far as political, and I'm going to talk about various aspects of political, is to make sure that those in my area are taken care of, and I'm going a little bit deeper. Mm-hmm. A lot of the citizens have not been working, and they have a moratorium in place. Those who are renters have been able to not pay their rent for a certain amount of time because they lost jobs and various things. But unfortunately, that moratorium is going away on July 31st. We're going to have a lot of homeless people.
Oh, no.
And that's not just in my county. That's going to be nationwide because they were governed by certain laws and policies that were put in place because of COVID. But now these landlords are going and applying for evictions, and rents have increased by 40% just over the time because the housing rate has come in Atlanta. So you have people who were paying $800 a month for a 3-bedroom, and now their rent went up to like $1,600 a month. I love to put in place maybe a home buyers assistance program to show them how to buy a home, because like I told some of them, I said you were paying $800, $700 for rent for a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom when you could have owned it. It could have been yours.
Yeah.
Pay $1,600 for that same place that you pay less in a mortgage, and it's yours, and you don't have to worry about anybody kicking you out unless you don't pay it after 3 months, But you have some different laws that help govern you when you own a home versus renting from someone.
Yeah.
So I would love to put some educational pieces in place to show people about home buying, because we're going to have a lot of homeless people probably after July if there's nothing put in place governmental wise to assist them.
Yeah, I hate to hear that. That is sad. And I think it's an indictment on education too, because in school we don't really learn that. For example, like when I was in school, I never left school thinking about the concept of, investing in yourself and, buying your home and why it's important to build equity. I didn't learn any of that till got, you know what I mean? And so I think they could do a better job of that in schools to be able to kind of teach and just get that first impression when students have a chance to learn how to do that, because they're really not. I don't think they give that opportunity really.
They don't. It's kind of like trial. Once you become an adult, it's trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm going to try this to see if it works, and and if you don't have the knowledge or know, you don't know what's available to you. So it's really important that we, as the government, for one, make this information, accessible to the citizens so they know what's out there and it's available for them, various programs. Because there's a lot of home buyer programs that pay down payment, that pay first-time home buyer. There's so much out there, but if you don't know, you have no idea. If you've been renting all your life, or you come from a background of a family that rented and never had a home and purchased a home, you have no idea. You had no aspirations for that because it was never taught to you. So we definitely, like you said, Taryn, we definitely need to do better in the educational system.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's incredible. And I was going to ask you also, Alana, your daughter, when we first met, I think she wasn't in high school yet, maybe still finishing middle school. So the thought that she's going to be a senior, what's the talk been about her education and furthering once post-high school? What's her plans?
That's my future doctor. She
Nice.
wants to be an immunologist, and for those who don't know what that is,
Excellent. Wow.
that is a doctor of the immune system. So
That
she
is
would have been
wonderful.
perfect for COVID right now, because she would have been
Yes.
looking for the vaccine. I mean, creating the vaccines,
Yeah,
doing research, creating
exactly.
the medicines, and all that thing. She wants to only work in a lab. She always said, "I don't want to talk to people. I just want to work in a lab." She wants
Good.
to work in a lab. So
Good.
she had an opportunity this summer to work at a hospital in a lab, to
Good
see
for
how they
her.
actually work in labs. So her aspiration, she has 3 schools that she wants to attend. Harvard is number 1, because they
Oh
have an
my
scholarship
God.
program.
Wow.
2 is Emory,
Oh
and
wow.
3 is Duke.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
Duke Tip Scholar, so she went there some summers ago and took some college courses over the summer. So she fell in love with Duke as well. So
Wow.
those are her top 3. She says she's pushing towards Emory, which I'm excited about, because I don't want
Yeah.
to deter
Yeah,
my
exactly.
child from not going way over there in Boston. And his mom
Exactly.
can't get to her. So I'm kind of excited that she's pushing towards Emory. But
Good.
those are her schools that she want to go to, and it's because they have that program that she needs,
Yeah.
what she wants to go into. Yeah.
I'm impressed. I mean, whichever of those that she goes to, those are all top, highly rated, like some of the best. And so I'm so happy to hear that. And we'll need people like her in that
Yes.
industry. So that's perfect. Yeah, that's really, really good. Oh, that's awesome, Elena. And what about yourself for the rest of the summer? You have any more summer vacation plans, or going out of town anywhere, or what's the rest of the year shaping up like?
Need to take a vacation.
Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
every time I plan a vacation, it gets deterred.
Oh
I'm
no.
like, I'm going to take it this weekend. All of a sudden, something happens. I don't go. So I need to plan something before summer is over,
Yes.
just to get away. Because when you consume yourself, and I love what I do, and I think I know God placed me in this position for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start consuming everyone's problems,
Yeah.
it becomes yours.
Oh
So
yeah.
you take time to get away, to say, oh, I need to just breathe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need to not think about anything but just myself at this moment. So I'm going to take a vacation. I don't care if it's going to Biloxi, which is 6 hours away,
Yeah.
or Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm getting away. I'm gonna plan that. I'm gonna do that before August.
Good for you. Oh, that's tremendous. That is wonderful. Are you having enough time to do your group classes and exercise classes yourself too, Elena? Like, I know that's always a struggle for everyone involved, and myself included. All fitness instructors, personal trainers, we're like the last, to suffer from being able to get our own workouts in.
Oh yeah, I do that. I have to. That's what keeps me sane.
Yes.
The stress off.
Yeah.
So I make sure that I get that in. I have to do that, because I would probably go crazy.
Yeah.
So I take all the stress and frustration on that cycling bike, or
there
whatever
you go.
class I'm going to, on those weights.
Yep.
So yes, I make sure I make the time. I keep a personal gym membership for myself.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I totally agree. Yeah, because you need that. It's funny. Like, most of the people I meet that are in our business, they don't work out at most of the gyms that they train at or work at, just because you can't work out in peace. I was having this talk with someone else, and I think that is important to have another membership somewhere, so you can escape where not everyone knows who you are or what you do, and you could just do your own thing, and that's so important. That's critical. Back to the political realm for a second, too, and you're doing so much right now for your county, and I'm so impressed. What are the other kind of long-range goals and objectives you're looking to do, for your county, that you'd really like to be happy here for the rest of the year and looking into the next year?
I'm looking to get more recreation, parks and rec, and a community center for my area.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things about my area, I house the most kids, most youth, and there's not anything for them to do. Statistically known, they're high in STDs, which is not good to know. They're low in literacy, and it's because of there's nothing for them to do. So when you're a child, you have nothing to do. You're going to find the wrong things to do because there's nothing structured for you. So my goal, my long-term goal is working with it now, and it's my long-term goal is to make sure I get some parks and recs and a community center that houses various programs for our youth, from technology to entrepreneurship, various things like that, recreation, where it's basketball, even athletics, those things. And inside that community center, I also wanted to have an incubator for those who want to become entrepreneurs, our adults, our seniors. I just wanted to, and I've already had it drawn out by architect, drew it out for me. So I want to make sure that that is put in place in my county and also in my community, because I want to make sure that the people have those various things. It's amazing that some of the kids in my area live here in Covington, Georgia, Newton County, and have never been to Atlanta.
Oh, wow. I can't imagine that.
Never been to Atlanta. And
that's amazing.
When I was like, we got to change that.
Yeah.
Because no one I wouldn't say no one cared, but maybe no one took the time out to show them various things or to show them a way. So I'm hosting some other events to where I'm trying to reach the youth so we can have discussions, get them with mentors. If they don't have it at home, somebody's there to mentor them. It's really important. So those are my long-term goals, is to make sure that I take care of the seniors and our youth and create more entrepreneurs.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's so wonderful, Alana. That is just amazing. I commend you for all the hard work and efforts you've been doing this. How long now since you've been commissioner officially? Because it's coming up on a year now, isn't it?
7 months.
7 months. I knew. Yeah, it's flown by so fast. I mean, that's amazing.
It's been over that.
Yeah.
I just left right before I got to you. I was leaving a ribbon cutting.
Oh, so, wow.
Running in to come in and do that, and one of the ladies that stopped me, she said, "You're everywhere." That's a good thing. I said, "That's a good thing, because if you don't see me, that means I'm not doing my job. But if you see me, that means I'm doing my job."
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you said that I'm everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I know you like to hear that. Yeah, definitely. Well, knowing you, again, you're just keeping yourself so well connected, networked, and you are the hardest working woman, lady that I know, period. I mean, seriously, it's amazing. Everything. I don't know how you do it all. Like, your schedule's just incredible. Well, as we get closer to your daughter being, her taking that big step into journey and leaving you as an empty nester, I commend you. And I know that we'll go on that journey and see this as it kind of happens here in the next year. But I always enjoy doing these with you. Thank you so much. These times go by so quickly with you. Before we let you go, go ahead and please let's plug anything you want to promote right now about your community, your county, ways to get in touch with you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. You can reach me politically at CommissionerSanders.com. If you click on upcoming events, that has all of the events that I'm doing within the county as well. Just on a regular tip, I would say, just to connect with me, everything on social media at Alana, Alana Sanders. You can find me and reach out to me. I'm here for the community. I'm here to connect, so feel free to reach out.
Perfect. Okay, well, Commissioner Sanders, thank you so much for your time as always. We'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your summer as we come up onto Halloween here shortly. So we'll see you next month, and take care. Keep up the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.